All right, let's do this question right here. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute to go over on that. Okay. Would you be able to solve for x by referring to your notes from yesterday? Again, this is a warm-up question. This is not the assignment. Okay. You guys remember what to do? Okay. Let's see, I'm just reading the chat. All right, Tiana, I'm glad you made it. Yeah, we're gonna go over on that right now. Okay. So what, Deborah? You and Kaden are cousins? What? Interesting. You guys are what? Long lost cousins or something? I don't know. Yeah, this is the notes. So let's go over, okay? All right, very good, interesting. So the first step of solving involving SOHCAHTOA sine, cosine, tangent problem is that you label 3 sides of the triangle. You have to do that, okay? So the focus angle is the 70 right here. Now always you start with opposite, because the opposite side is always the opposite side from the focus angle, which is the 70 degrees. So this is the opposite. And then next you want to identify hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is always the side across from the 90 degree, okay? So this is hypotenuse. That leaves the last side to be adjacent. You get that? You have to do this, okay? You cannot skip this. Next, you notice that there is nothing on opposite. So basically opposite is out, okay? So you're dealing with adjacent hypotenuse combinations. Which one uses adjacent and hypotenuse? So to figure out, you gotta spell out SOHCAHTOA, right? And S-O, I'm gonna write down S-O-H, that's a sign, and a C-A-H, that's how I write SOHCAHTOA, by the way. And then T-O-A, that's SOHCAHTOA. And we are looking for the one that involves adjacent and hypotenuse. Which one is it? Adjacent and a hypotenuse. It's the cosine problem, isn't it? This has to be cosine, nothing else, okay? And so we're gonna use cosine of the angle measurement, which is 70 degrees, equals adjacent, which is 5.6, over hypotenuse, which is unknown, x. Okay, we can do that. But let's finish this up, Tiana, okay? And then we cross multiply. So when x is in the bottom denominator, what eventually happens is cosine of 70 times x equals 1 times 5.6, which is a 5.6. So you divide both sides by cosine of 70. And so that cancels out. So x equals 5.6 divided by cosine of 70. Let's try that. 5.6 divided by cosine of 70. And I get 16 point, let's do 4. Okay. Did you get that? Or 3.7? Very good, Jerry. So that will be centimeter. Okay. Is everybody okay on this? There was a request to go over on I, so let's try that too. Just one more review. Okay. So why don't you try I next? Okay, so 1 minute. So label, set up an equation, and then cross multiply and solve it. And let me see your answers. Please share in the chat so that I will know who has finished. Very good. So that would be, what is this? 27 times 11. Excellent, very good. Anybody else? Thank you, Francisco, Patrick, Gentry. So the first step is to label. The focus angle is right here, 27. So opposite. Again, you always want to identify opposite first. Opposite is the x. Hypotenuse, well, there's nothing, right? The hypotenuse is blank. But let's just write that. But the hypotenuse is out. Then 11 is adjacent. So you're talking about opposite adjacent combinations. And opposite adjacent combination is opposite adjacent. This is a tangent problem. You see that? So tangent of, always the angle comes for next, always sine, cosine, tangent, and then the angle. That's always a one package deal, okay? So tangent of 27, that's one thing, okay? It's not tangent times 27, it's tangent of 27, it's a one thing, okay? Tangent of 27 equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent 11. You see that? Now this time, x is on the top, which is actually easy one, right? So you cross multiply, 1 times x is just x, equals tangent of 27 times 11, okay? And so if you do that, you should get about 5.6. Yeah, I think I got that too. Very good. Yeah, does that make sense, guys? Let's see, who was that? Tian, how do you feel about this? You okay? Okay. Very good. All right, so this is what we've done yesterday. And we did, I don't know if anybody was absent, were absent. I assigned the first 6 problems as the assignment. Okay, so that was from yesterday. Now today, so this is today's notes. It's a 4.2. We are going to find the angle measurement. So I would like you to just, and we're just going to jump right into the examples. Okay. Now you see that. Now before you were given with like one unknown sides, and then you have one side measurement given like let's say 12 centimeter, and then you also have the angle measurement. This is 35 degree, right? That was yesterday. But this time we are given with 2 measurements, but one, the angle measurement is unknown. Okay, so we're going to go through that. Yeah, it has to be in. Did you get? Let's see. Did I screw up? Francisco, are you talking about the last problem? Did you get 5.6? Yeah, you got 5.6, right? Yeah. So by the way, the your calculator needs to be in degree mode. There are 2 modes. Let me show you one more time. My calculator, there is a mode button, and if I press that, you see that 3rd line from the top, it's got radian and degree, and degree needs to be highlighted. Okay, so please make sure that it's in degree mode. Okay, otherwise, you're not going to get the right answer. Okay. So to find the angle measurement, the process is very similar. Okay, but all the way up to the setup of the equation, but you do not cross multiply. But you guys know how to set up, right? So let's do that. Let's do this together. Okay. First step, label. Okay. So the focus angle is right here, which is unknown. Okay. Theta. Again, theta, the Greek letter alphabet, it's just an unknown variable. It's, you can think of it as an x. Okay. So the angle is x. But math people like to use little theta for unknown angle. Okay, you okay, Tian? Yeah. What's LMAO? Laughing my A. Okay. My son taught me that. Okay. All right. As long as you notice your mistake. All right. So the first step is the label. Focus angle is theta right here. Opposite. Hypotenuse. There's nothing on a hypotenuse. And then adjacent. So it's opposite adjacent, okay? So let's set up an equation first, okay? But do not cross multiply it, but let's wait, please wait. So set up an equation. Okay, you guys have that equation. This is opposite and adjacent. That's, we need to write down Sukatoa again. SOHCAHTOA. and that's opposite and adjacent. That's tangent. So tangent of angle, always sine, cosine, tangent, and angle. Okay, sine tangent of x equals opposite 10/7. Okay, one more student joined us. Great job. So this is tangent, right? Now, how do we find the angle measurement? Does anybody remember how to do that? All the way from geometry? That was a long time ago. Or was it? Yes, last year? Yeah, very good. I'm impressed that you remember that. Okay. You're not going to, yeah, arctan. You're going to use the inverse tangent, okay, to find, now the ratio is already known. It's 10/7, right? It's 10/7 of that angle measurement. So how do we get back to the angle measurement? That will give you 10/7. Now, going backwards in math is called, the reversing is called inverse in math. Okay, so to find the theta or angle measurement, you're going to inverse tangent of 10/7. You do not cross multiply. Do not cross multiply, okay? It will not lead you anywhere. So how do we do that? Well, it's inverse tangent of 10/7. Well, if you look at your calculator, just right above tangent, you see that tangent and -1 first power in yellow font. So usually you have to press like a shift, or in my case, it's a second button. So you go second and then tangent button. Okay, let's clear that screen here. So you go second and tangent. Now I get inverse tangent. And then you type in 10 divided by 7. So why don't you go up to the point? Inverse tangent, 10 divided by 7. And then that will give you 55 degrees. Is there anybody who is having difficulty of getting that? Okay, now if you are using your cell phone as a calculator, let's see, how do we do that? Where's the inverse? You see, I don't even know. Oh, by the way, if you're using the calculator, you see right here, it says rad. That's a radian mode. You don't want that. So you click that. Now it says DEG. That's a degree. Okay, so make sure that it's in degree mode. Okay, very good. Well, how do I get the inverse tangent? You do. I don't even know how to use second. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. How do I clear this? So you press second. Okay, so you press second and then you press tangent, inverse, and then 10 divide by 7. Now, how do I do that? Are you guys getting this? Parentheses, second. What do I need to do? You see, is anybody having any difficulty of getting that with your cell phone calculator? Now, I mean, you can still use this if you know how to do that. I'm just having a little difficulty, but another thing that you can do is that you download a graphing calculator, and this calculator, this is my cell phone, by the way. This is the same layout as my TI calculator. I don't know how legal it is, but yeah, they've came up with a, this is, I have an iPhone, and the name of this app is called Calculator 84. So just typing Calculator 84. It will give you this calculator, which is pretty much the layout is identical to my the graphing calculator for free, and you can graph it. You can do everything that this calculator does. Okay. Even though this is not, you won't be able to use this, of course, for taking SAT or anything like that, but it's pretty handful, useful. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay. B. Okay. Yeah. So Sophia shared a trick to use a cell phone calculator. Please take a look at the chat. You have to do 10 divided by 7 first. And then inverse tangent. Still not getting 10 divided by 7. Inverse tangent. Oh, okay, yeah. So if you do 10 divided by 7 and then inverse tangent, you get the right answer there. Okay, you guys have this. Now B. Again, the focus angle is right here, theta, unknown. Okay. And then the opposite, hypotenuse. Guess I could stop right here, but the bottom is adjacent. And we are dealing with the opposite and a hypotenuse because we've got 2 meter and 3 meter. There's nothing on adjacent. And opposite and a hypotenuse is right here. Opposite hypotenuse. Opposite hypotenuse. This is a sine problem. Okay, you getting that? So let's set up sine of theta angle. Okay, which we don't know, equals 2/3. And what do? Theta equals inverse sine of 2/3. Okay. And you should get, what do you get? 41.8 degrees. How are you guys doing on this? Does anybody need any help with your calculator? So we're doing okay. All right. So here's the assignment. I think you guys can go through this very quickly, but I've got, what is it, 8 problems of finding the angle measurement. So let's do that. If you feel comfortable working out those problems by yourself, just please keep going. And then that will be it for today, okay? But let's, if you want to go along with me, then please be ready. Let's get ready, okay? So please write down homework 4.2, okay? I'm gonna spell out SOHCAHTOA. Okay, you guys ready? So the first question, A. So label, then identify, set up an equation. Let's go up to that point. So copy down the triangle. It shouldn't take very long, right? Opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. Yeah, that would be good. Let's round off the answer to the 10th place. There's nothing on opposite. It's a hypotenuse and adjacent combination. That's gonna be cosine, right? Cosine of theta equals adjacent. It's adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So it's 4/5. And so the theta is inverse cosine of 4/5. Okay. Maybe at 36.9 degree. Okay, we are finding out the angle measurement. Yeah. For those who are going ahead, will you stop and check for A? It's 36.9. Okay. Make sure that you have that. Okay, let's talk about B. Again, let's label. So why don't you guys keep going on this? Does anybody need any help? All you have to do is ask questions, okay? I just type it in, give me a direct message to, and we can talk about that, your question.
어떻게? 지금 1일 동안 먼저 하잖아. 요즘 코레일이잖아.
Yes, there's a question on in the chat, direct message to me about honors credit. Last quarter, quarter three, I just made the requirement for that you have your grade above 92%. And then if you have that, then you can. So I know it's making maybe a little bit too easy, but at this point, I wasn't just able to prepare all the other materials. And so that's what I'm going to do for this quarter too. So if you would like to receive honors credit for this class, you will have a chance to do that. All right, let's keep going. So opposite. Where are you guys? Are you? This is a hypotenuse. This is adjacent. There's nothing on adjacent. That's opposite and hypotenuse. That's a sine. Sine of theta equals opposite 3/4. Okay. So the theta is inverse sine of 3/4. Again, no cross multiplication. Absolutely. So yeah, if you make a mistake, you can. But so I'm sorry. Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Punit. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Basically, we are doing all the assignments in class, and we begin and we finish the assignment in class. So essentially, you should be able to find your mistakes during the class, and then at the end of the class, you will turn in the assignment. So yeah, but if you want to redo and turn in, you can do that as well. Okay, let's keep going. Opposite. Hypotenuse, there's nothing on hypotenuse, and then adjacent. So it's an opposite adjacent combination. Yeah, there's no letter D. Yeah, I made this worksheet cutting and pasting, and so from other Algebra 2 textbook. So yeah, there is no D. Good point. Can't see letter D. A, B, C. Yeah, there is no D, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, wait a second. Did we even finish B? So inverse sine of 3 divided by 4. So the answer for B is 48.6 6 degrees. And for letter C, this is a tangent. Do you guys have that? Tangent of theta equals 6/7. Opposite over adjacent. So the theta is, I'm not even going to write the inverse tangent of 6 divided by 7, which is 40.6 degrees. Skipping D, I'm sorry guys for confusion. So let's move on to E. Is anybody able to see that? Okay, again, label always first. Opposite. Hypotenuse is the side across from 90 degrees. That's a hypotenuse. And this is adjacent. There is nothing on a hypotenuse. So we're talking about opposite and an adjacent combination. And for that, you look up on SOHCAHTOA, which one uses opposite and an adjacent. And again, it's this one, isn't it? Opposite, opposite, adjacent. So this has to be tangent again. So tangent of theta, we don't know the angle measurement, is opposite, which is 1 over 4.1. So the theta is inverse. Let's write it down. Okay, inverse tangent of 1 divided by 4.1. I got 13.7 degrees. Yeah, is everybody doing okay? Please ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. You might actually find out something that you didn't know, right? Isn't that how you learn, right? By asking questions. Yeah, all the way, no, to everything. Yeah, so we've got 4 more to go. Let's keep going. Are you guys all done? Some of you can go through this very quickly. Again, opposite. Side across from 90 degree. This is a 90 degree symbol, right? This little hook, that's a 90 degree. So that opposite side of that is always a hypotenuse, okay? And then the adjacent is 2.5. There is nothing on opposite. So we're talking about adjacent hypotenuse combination. So this is what? Which one is it? Can you tell me if you're working with me? Can you tell me which function it is? Is it sine, cosine, or tangent? It uses adjacent and hypotenuse. A and H, adjacent and a hypotenuse. So this is a cosine problem, yeah? Are you guys getting that? I hope I'm not talking to you like you don't know, you're not getting this, but if there is anybody who is not quite getting this right, please go along with me. So this is a cosine of theta, we don't know, which is, it's A over H, right? Right here, A over H. So adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's 2.5 over 4.1. And to find the angle measurement, we're going to simply take inverse cosine of 2.5 over 4.1. So inverse cosine 2.5 divided by 4.1. 52.4 degrees.ジェネレーターとか大丈夫だったあ、今からやろうかあと5分、10分で終わるけど。Okay, for G, we got 3 more to go. Okay, opposite. It's always the opposite of theta is always the opposite side. Okay, then hypotenuse, and then adjacent. There's nothing on adjacent. It's opposite hypotenuse. Opposite hypotenuse. How do you see that? This is a sign problem. So this is a SOH, right? So sine of theta equals opposite first, okay? 9.9 over 10.2. The inverse of that inverse sine of 9.9 divided by 10.2. 76.1. How are you guys doing? Maybe too easy? I don't know. I don't know if anybody is planning on taking SAT this year, but I've seen a lot of trig ratio problem, sine, cosine, tangent problem. Hopefully this will come in handy. H, this is the opposite. There's nothing, and this is a hypotenuse. And adjacent. Opposite is out because there's nothing on that side. But it's got adjacent and hypotenuse involved in that. Right? And which one is it? Are you able to identify that? It's Ka, isn't it? CAH. Adjacent and hypotenuse. So cosine of theta equals 2 over 4. So that's what 30 degrees, isn't it? Because it's 1:2 ratio, it has to be 30 degrees. Let's check. Inverse cosine of 2 divided by 4. Oh, 60 degrees, I'm sorry. Yeah, 60 degrees. Apologize. But the top is 30 degrees. Now, there are certain angle measurements that are very, what do you call it? Pretty identifiable ratio, which is like a 1:2 ratio. I knew that I was made a mistake, but it was 30 and 60 degree right triangle. And we will actually talk about that tomorrow. There are special cases where you don't need to do sine, cosine, tangent to figure out, but there is a set ratio. And if you can identify that, then you can just immediately figure out. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. The last question, guys. Okay, so let's finish this up. Opposite, hypotenuse, nothing on the hypotenuse, and adjacent. So it's opposite, adjacent. Yeah, which one is that? It's Toa, right? It's tangent problem, okay? Opposite, adjacent. So tangent of theta equals 80 over 1.1, okay? That's gonna give you really a high number, huh? Now, can you guys just take a look at it? Stop for a second. Everybody just put your pencil down or stop. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is, I forgot about this one. Good point. Very good point, Francisco. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with my equation? And if you do that, inverse tangent of 80 divided by 1.1, you get 89. It looks like a 90 degree. What's wrong with this? The answer. What did I do wrong? Very good. Okay. Yeah. And you notice that, guys? Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. You're being very observant. You're noticing something is not quite right, right? The problem that we have in this problem, I don't think I will ask you something like this on the test, but the problem is that there is no agreement in the unit. One is in centimeter and the other one is meter. So 80 divided by 1.1, it does not make sense because you're dealing with two different measurements. Okay. And so you have to make an agreement between the measurements. So one way is the 1 meter is 100 centimeter. I don't require you to memorize that or remember this, but that means this 1.1 meter is actually 110 centimeter. So we could do that. So we could change that into 80 over 110. So will you guys fix that? Yeah, it's not 89.2. So again, instead of a 1.1, let's use 110 centimeter. Okay. Now both of them are in centimeter, 80 centimeter and 110 centimeter. And now we can get the right answer. Inverse tangent of 80 divided by 110. Nice job for those who noticed that the difference in the unit. So it's 36.0. So it's actually 36 degrees. So it changes the whole answer, doesn't it? Okay, so I know it's a little early. We still have some time left, but this is all I have for today. If you have any questions, please remain in the class and I'll be happy to go over and answer your questions. Okay. Otherwise, please make sure that you take this picture, not the screen, but your notebook, and then please submit your homework in Canvas. And if you have questions about submitting the assignment, then please let me know as well. Okay, so you guys have a great day and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Does anybody have any question? Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great day.